After completing your Django project, if you are thinking to deploy that project on the internet, this video is gonna help you. Welcome back programmers. In the today's section, I'm gonna show you the easiest way to deploy your Django project on the production level on the internet. And for that, we are going to use the AWS, Amazon Web Service. Amazon Web Service is the cloud computing and APIs platform which can help you to deploy your project on the cloud. So think it is as a online computer. You can choose any computer you want and you can put your project on that particular computer. You can choose any operating system you want like Windows, Linux, Ubuntu, Raspberry and any computer. Even you can choose the processor. We are gonna show later. Now let's talk about the pricing. AWS gives you the 1 year free tier, means 1 year free computer and the database if you are new user. After 1 year, Amazon WS will charge you as per your specification per your project and the databases. But if you are beginner, so I will suggest you use the free tier. Now let's talk about the domain. I am using the Hostinger 2 domain registration. I use the allinonecode.com domain. I bought this www.allinonecode.com on the Hostinger. You can choose GoDaddy, Hostinger. There are lots of platforms where you can buy the domain. Now if you don't want to buy the domain, what you can do, you can directly upload your Django project on the AWS and you can share the public IP to your employee and start the production level. Okay, so the first of all, what you're gonna do is go on the official AWS website, link is in the description, and register for AWS. Now if you are getting the problem on registering on AWS, so you can check out any YouTube video because you have to pass your ATM card on the AWS. It will not charge you now, it will charge you after 1 year. After complete registering, go on the instance on the left hand section. Okay, so the first step is to buy the computer. Now what is instance? Instance is nothing but the tier or you can say computer you choose for your project. As you can see, I got two projects here. And this is the Linux and this is the Ubuntu. Because you don't have any instance, you will not see anything in here because you are new here. Okay, so the first step is create an instance for your project. Now for this project, allinonecode.com, I am gonna use the Ubuntu, and for that, click on the launch instance. Now as you can see, you will find lots of instance in here, or you can say computer, like Amazon Linux 2, Mac OS, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8, Ubuntu Server, Microsoft Windows Server, and so on. So even Debian OS, which is the Raspberry OS. Now if you are a data scientist or machine learning developer, this is the best instance for you. Deep Learning AMI Ubuntu 18.0.4, or you can choose the Deep Learning AMI. But because our project is a simple project, that's why we are gonna use the Ubuntu. Now remember, if you want your project to be free for 1 year, so please check this free tier eligible. If it isn't free tier eligible, AWS will charge you. Now we are going to use this Ubuntu server 20.0.4 LTS HV MSSD volume type AMI and so on. So this is the 64-bit. And if you wanna learn more about this, you can just check out this link if you wanna learn the Ubuntu more. Now either you can choose the 64-bit into 6086 or you can choose the ARM version. If you don't know, just select 64-bit into 86. Now click on the select. Now this is the part where we can choose the CPU and storage. Now for free tier, as you can see, free tier eligible, you can only choose T2, type T2 micro and CPU only 1, memory 1 GB, instant storage EBS only, network performance low to moderate, IPv6 support yes. Now if you want to customize this, you can just choose any preferences you want in here. For example, if you want a large amount of CPU, if you know the user will be more like 1 million, 2 million, so you can choose multiple CPU like 16, 32, 72. There are a lots of options available. And if you want the good networks, you can choose the up to 5 gigabit. And if you want the more memory, if your program is more deeply computing, so you can choose the higher amount of RAM. But because my program is simple, my Django project is simple, I'm gonna use the free tier eligible. Now after completing this process, just click on the review and launch button. Now this is the preview of our instance. In the instance tab, as you can see, T2.micro, CPU 1, memory 1 GB, instant storage EBS only, and network performance low to moderate. And in the instance details, you will find all of the details of your instance. In the storage, you will find your storage capacity and the volume types. In the tags, you will find the key, value and instance. This resources currently has no tags because we didn't create the key. Now in the security group, as you can see, we got SSH, TCP protocol and port range 22, and the source is anywhere. Now because we have to upload our Django project, we have to add one security group, and for that just click on the edit security group, click on the add rule and select HTTP and simply select source equal to anywhere and just click on the review and launch button. So as you can see, it will automatically generate two types, HTTP protocol TCP and port range 80, and the source is anywhere. 000 means anywhere. Okay, so that was it for our preview. Now just click on the launch button. Now this is the very important part. Let me just quickly recap this part 1. First we selected the server, which is nothing but the Ubuntu. Then select T2 micro free tier. Then edit the security group to HTTP and anywhere. Click on the launch button, and this is the very important part. This is the key pair section. In here, with the use of this key, you can access your server, and for that just create a new key pair and enter your key pair name AIOC. All you can name it anything. I'm gonna name it AIOC key pair, and then just download this key. I'm going to download this key on my local folder AIOC AWS data and key pair. This is the name of the key AIOC key pair, and the extension of key pair is PEM. Save this key, and if you lose this key, you will not be able to access your server. So please secure your key. Then it will create your key. As you can see, you have to download the private key file.pem file before you can continue. Store it in a secure and accessible location. You will not be able to download the file again after it's created. So this was the key pair. Now just click on the launch instance. As you can see, your instance are running now. It means it worked. Now just click on the view instances. Now as you can see, this is my instance, the third one. You have to wait for initializing. It will take 2 to 3 minutes to initialize your instance. So this is initializing. Till then, we can see our details of our instance. Click on here, so you will find all of the details of your instances. In the details, you will find the instance summary like instance ID, IPv4 address, which is very important, private IPv4 address, and so on so. And in the instance details, you will find the Ubuntu, which is the platform details, Linux/Unix, AMI ID, AMI name, monitoring disabled, and so on so. And this is the key pair name, which is nothing but the AIOC key pair. In the host and replacement group, the placement group, you will find the host ID, affinity and all of the other details like number of CPUs. You can change this if you want. Okay, so we just bought a computer. Now how we are gonna access to that computer? And the easiest answer is just right click on here and click on the connect. We can connect our platform using the SSH client, but that was the part 1. Okay, in the part 1 we saw how did we create the instance, how we bought the computer and choose the specifications. In the next part we are going to connect our server using the local CMD. So let's begin. Now you can use either PuTTY, which is nothing but the software, to connect the any server you want, or you can just install the Unix in your CMD. As you know, we downloaded this KEYPAIR. We are going to use this KEYPAIR to connect our server. Just copy the path of your KEYPAIR, open command prompt, first type SSH. If you see these commands, it means your SSH is successfully installed. If you find command dot recognize, so just download the SSH. These are the steps to download SSH. So this is my command prompt. Go in your instance ID. This is my instance ID. We just created this. Click on the right click on the connect. Now copy this part, SSH and so on. So this is the example part. Copy this part, this line. Go in your Aioc keypair.pem directory. As you can see, I am in the Aioc AWS data and /keypair. So this is my path for my Aioc keypair.pem. Or you can just directly right click on here and open your command prompt here. Now copy this line, example line, SSH and so on and paste it in our command prompt and click on the enter button. For the first time it will ask you to permission, just click yes and that's it. That's how you can connect your AWS server to your local machine, and this was the easiest way. If you want to use the PuTTY, you can use it. Now let's talk about some errors. If you got any errors like private key error, permission error or any error, just try copy that key and put it in your C directory, because sometimes it gets error because of the root permission. Just copy your key and put it in your C directory anywhere and run that particular code with your path of that particular C drive. And this is my shell account, or you can say this is my computer connected with my local machine. Okay, so this is Ubuntu, so I'm gonna write dir to check all of the directory. As you can see, I got nothing because I don't have any directory here. And that was our second part. In the first part, we created the instant, or you can say we bought the computer, cloud computer. And in the second part, we connected that cloud computer with our local machine. Now next, what we are gonna do, we are gonna transfer our Django file into our server. So this is my project which I am going to upload. So just go in the project file and extract your project in here if you got your project in the zipped format. So this is my project, and make sure your project is production ready. Now the next important question is how to transfer your project data into the server. Now you can either use the GitHub. In my suggestion, just use the GitHub, which is the very important part. But because GitHub doesn't contain greater than 100 MB file, so I'm gonna use my local machine as a transferer. And for that I'm going to use an software. The name of the software is WinSCP. Okay, so now that you connected your cloud computer with your local machine, now this is the time where you transfer your Django project data file into this server. And first of all, we are going to transfer one txt file to see if transfer is success or not, or if it's working or not. So this is my test1.txt file, and I'm going to share this test1.txt file into the server, and then we are gonna check with our command prompt and make sure you activate your Ubuntu. Okay, so open WinSCP software, then click on the new website, or you can say new site. Open your AWS account, click on your server and copy this public IPv4 DNS. Remember to copy only this public IPv4 DNS. In the new site of WinSCP, enter your host name equal to your IPv4 address which you just copied. In the username, just write Ubuntu, Ubuntu. Click on the Advanced. Go in the SSH authentication. In the private key file, select your private key which you just downloaded. So this is my directory of Aioc AWS data and the KEYPAIR. Click on the all file and select Aioc keypair.pem and just click on the open. As you can see, do you want to convert this open SSC pirate key to PuTTY format, and just click on the OK. It will convert your .ppm file into ppk and download it in your directory. You can change the name. I'm gonna name it Aioc KEYPAIR and I'm gonna name it PuTTY, and then save. And you can see private key was converted and saved to your path, and just click on the OK and just click on the OK again and just save this session by clicking on this save button. You can name it anything. I'm gonna name it AIOC transfer session 1 and then just click on the OK, and now click on the login button. As you can see, connecting to unknown server, just click on the yes button and it will connect your local machine with cloud machine. As you can see, this is our cloud machine, home/Ubuntu. Now I'm gonna transfer this file. I'm gonna just click on the test1.txt and drag it in my Ubuntu server. As you can see, the transfer is successful, and that was the easiest way to transfer any file with Ubuntu server or any cloud server. Now open your Ubuntu shell. Click on the dir. You will find the test1.txt. As you can see, I got test1.txt. Now let's see if it's my test1.txt. Write nano. Now nano is the text editor in the Ubuntu. So in this project we are going to use the nano. So write nano and then write text1 or whatever your name is, whatever your file name is, and then click on the enter. As you can see, I subscribe Aioc now. This is my file. So that was the easiest way to transfer any your local machine file into your connected cloud server. Okay, so next thing what we are gonna do, we are gonna create a folder and store our project in that folder and transfer that project on the server. So this is my project Aioc all-in-one code project main, and in this folder we got all-in-one code site, and in this folder we got all of these project folders. Now just open the WinSCP and transfer your project by just drag and drop. Because my project is a huge project, it will take time, so I'm gonna wait for it to transferred. Now as you can see, it's successfully transferred in my online server, and now I got my project on my Ubuntu server. So let's try if it is showing it in our CMD. As you can see, it successfully worked and I got my Aioc all-in-one code main project. Now the next thing we are gonna do is install the requirements APIs. Okay, in the first step we just created the EC2 server. In the second step we just connected with our local machine, and in the third step we just transferred our Django main project into the online server. Now because we are using the Ubuntu, we have to upgrade and update some of these APIs so it is updated and don't give us any error, and for that first write sudo apt-get update and hit enter, and then just write sudo apt-get upgrade and then hit enter. If you got this, do you want to continue? So just click on the Y and hit enter. it will update all of the data which you have available in your Ubuntu server like Python, Anaconda and so on. Okay, it's successfully upgraded and updated. Now what we are gonna do, we are going to install the virtual environment, and for that first let's find out what version of Python is it installed in our Ubuntu server. And for that just write Python and hit enter. Oops, hit Python 3. As you can see, we got the version 3.8.5. Now just click exit, write exit and hit enter. Now that we know we got Python 3.8.5, we can easily install the virtual environment. Just write pip install virtual environment and click. Oops, as you can see, we got the error pip not found, and for that you can just do sudo apt install python 3 pip, or you can write sudo apt get install virtual environment. But first let's install the pip and hit enter. Now that we installed pip install virtual env, the next step is to create an virtual environment, and for that just write virtual env and your virtual environment name. I'm gonna name it virtual env AIOC env. My virtual environment name is AIOC env, and just hit enter. Oops, it was the error because I was downloading something. Now let's try it again. Write virtual env, then your environment name. You can name it anything. I'm gonna name it virtual AIOC env. Remember to use the sudo if you wanna create the virtual environment. So just write sudo virtual env, then your environment name. I'm gonna name it AIOC env. You can name it anything you want. So just write sudo virtual env and your environment name. And for me, sudo virtual env AIOC env. Just hit enter. As you can see, it's automatically gonna create the virtual environment. Let's see. Just write dir to see all of the folder. As you can see, I got AIOC env, and that was it. Now the next important section is to install all of the requirement files for our project. As you can see, I got the requirement.txt in my project, and it contains all of the requirements, project and APIs and modules which I need in my project. And for that just activate your environment and pip install -r requirement.txt. To activate your environment, just go on the AIOC environment, bin and active. And to activate you have to use the source, and for that source AIOC env/bin/activate. Just hit enter. Oops, I misspelled the source. The source spelling is SOURCE, and hit enter. As you can see, now I am in my virtual environment. As you can see, AIOC env. Now I can install anything I want and I can use it in my project. Now simply go in the directory of your requirement.txt. Mine is AIOC all-in-one code project main/all-in-one code site. And to install all of the requirements file, just write pip install -r requirement.txt and hit enter. Okay, so that is it for today's guys. This was the huge video, and in the first section we saw how we can create the cloud computer, or you can say EC2 console. And then we saw how to activate that console, and we can connect that console, or you can say that computer, with our local machine. And in the third part we saw how we can transfer all local data into that server. And I hope you guys learned something about AWS. In the next video we are going to use the Gunicon and Nginx to deploy our project. So that is it for today's guys. If you like this video, just like this video, share this video to other programmer, and if you don't wanna miss the next parts, hit on the bell icon. See you guys in the next video. Till then, just learn.